Uh, Good morning, Director sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, shall
Good
we
morning.
proceed, sir?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, sir. Over to you, Amit, sir. You can proceed, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
It's would be my pleasure to invite our honorable director, sir, Dr. Piyush Kant Pandey, sir. He's having a successful career, which includes developing new scientific concepts that are relevant to environmental science and engineering and social requirements. Apart from innovating technology, conducting multidisciplinary research, teaching and supervising research, and building organizations, I would like to invite Sir uh, to enlighten his knowledge on this FTP. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Amit ji. It's really my pleasure to be, interacting with such a wonderful, audiences over here. Yesterday we had a good beginning, and also I could hear one or two lectures from Mr. Devashish Das also. So I'm sure you all must be having a very good grounding on the topic. And about me, in fact, I would like to deal with this particular FDP as a user, not as an expert of this one. I consider myself as a person who's trying to use this, the developments of technology for the betterment of the, variety of the, research decisions or the day-to-day life decisions or the decisions in our management of the proper life. Those are the things I would like to discuss with you. So the topic which was given to me was AI and its applications. So from that point, I'll be dealing, as I told you, as a user, as an person who's trying to apply the knowledge of AI. So I'd like to share my screen with you first of all. So let me first of all share it with you. Is my screen visible,
Yes, sir.
Amit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It's visible, sir.
Okay, so as I told you, that basically I'm a environmental, scientist and engineer, and I have been working very long on the various aspects of the environmental pollution and its dealing, how it can be dealt, and what are the new trends which are coming. And I'm particularly excited by the application of the artificial intelligence and other developments which are coming, and how it can be used, for the better environmental sustainability. That would be my topic. I hope this topic will be of interest to you, as because I'm presenting my as a user perspective. So from that perspective, basically I'd like to first of all tell you that basically we all are required to make variety of the decisions in our life, whether it is in a business, whether in a house, whether in your personal life, or whatever, like whatever thing which we do. In fact, our day starts with the decision making, and our day ends with the decision making. Right? In the morning when you get up, I think the first thing is you try to decide what to wear, what time to go, where to go, and those kind of things are there. So decision making is one a part and parcel of our life. For whole the life we keep on making the decisions. So I'm audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir. It's audible, sir.
Yes,
And the slide is also visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir.
visible.
Fine. Right. So this decision-making process, which I told you, in fact, this is a process which is basically a scientific process. And how it is scientific is that it goes through the 4 phases. Now, what are the 4 phases? Is that first phase is called intelligence. Like you gather a kind of a, like for that particular problem, you first of all recognize the problem, that whether a problem is there which needs to be solved, we need to be tackled by you. That is a first part. And that could be a problem, that could be need, that could be an opportunity. For example, as I told you, what time you'll be going to your office could be also a decision. Which course you want to do can be a decision. Where to build your house can be a decision. Which traffic route you want to take for reaching to your office or your college, that also can be a decision. So these are all part of intelligence, where try to collect the either you find or recognize a problem where you need a decision. The second part is that once this is identified, once a problem is identified, when a need for decision making is identified, then you design the solutions. How you design? you try to find out that what are the ways for solving that particular problem. For example, if you have to reach the LCIT, then suppose you are living in, let's say, in Sarkanda, so you will try to devise that which way I have to go, which route I should be taking, and for that, you will be coming out 3-4 options. Let's say there are 3 routes are available through which you can reach your office. Now that design is there, so 3 options are available to you. Now choice is there. Out of that, you will try to decide that which one to choose, and that decision will be based upon the merits and demerits of the solution. That, in fact, that is where we put the weights. In AI languages, we call the certain weights to the various choices. So those choices are there, by which you compare those decisions, that which route will be better. You will choose a particular route where your, let's say, fuel efficiency is maximum, where the traffic is less, the time required to reach your office will be less. Obviously, that will be a choice. So then you carry out that solution. You take that particular route and reach to your office. This is a simple 4-phase. So you understand these 4 phases are very important, whether in such a simple decision of reaching to your office, or a very complex decision, that which kind of a hardware, or which kind of software, or which kind of technology to use to reach to the Mars. That also will require a similar design, that you will require that the data intelligence about that issue. Then you will require to design the solutions, you require to choose them, and then you can implement. So this is a 4, I hope you can understand, a simple process of the decision making taken in a scientific context. So basically the same diagram is there, so that we can present in this form. That you find out what to fix, that's your intelligence. Design is find what fixes that particular problem. Then you pick a fix, that is your choice, and then you implement. And this is a particular, in fact, it is a feedback loop will be there in all these decisions. What will be there? That intelligence phase is a part of the phase which gets input from all the other phases, which helps you in making your decisions much better, much smarter. And for example, if you know the design input over there, if already it is there, your intelligence will be increased. If you know the various choices available and which have been taken by anybody else in the past, then it will further enrich your intelligence. And then implementation and what are the problems may come. If you know that, then obviously you can design it better. So in fact, the overall, this is a kind of a, we can say, feedback loop is established in the process of decision making also. Now, in fact, the decisions which we make in our either in a working life, or in a scientific, or a technological, or day-to-day life, whatever you call, decisions are mainly 4 types. We call them as the 4 types of decision making, which we all are required to do. One decision is known as structured decision. The structured decision is that, in fact, it can be processed in a specified way only. For example, an algorithm has to be solved, then it can be solved only in a specified way, and only you require certain particular input then to get the right answer. So structured decisions are that which are highly designed on a highly fixed kind of a structure is there. Whereas the other is thing where non-structured are there, where the answer can be several right answers, and there can be no right answer, like which girl to marry, or which color to wear. These are a kind of can be non-structured decision. Obviously, you can make it structured also, but of course, normally these are non-structured decisions. Particularly the what to wear, which route to take, this can be, we can call them as a non-structured decision. Recurring decisions are those where the organizations take them regularly. Any organization, whether it is, for example, if a custom department is there, so which type of the travelers are coming, how to deal with them, how to take their visa, and how to take their passport, and then allow them or reject them. Those are kind of a recurring decisions which will be taking place regularly. Whereas some decisions are ad hoc, only for some time, for just to meet a emergency, you would be taking those decisions. So that is known as ad hoc decisions or non-recurring decisions, which once in a blue moon only, which will be taking place. So these are the 4 type of decisions which will be taking. Now, what I'm trying to take you to that is that, can something support us making these decisions? That is my first part, that these 4 decisions we have seen. Now, as you know that, in fact, now our dependence on the technology is increasing continuously. And therefore, with the better, there are better tools are available now. Now you all know that 24/7 we are under the eyes of the satellite cameras are there. 24/7 your and online presence can be monitored. Similarly, overall the movement of any place can be is a in fact 20 we can say 24/7 to 365 days we are under the technological garb of technological umbrella, and therefore many of our decision making can be supported by a decision support system also. What is a decision support system? Suppose for making those decisions, right, as I told you, four things are required. As I told you, what was that? The intelligence was there, and design was there. Choices are there. These three things. If somebody can provide you an intelligence about your decision, and it can also give you an idea about what kind of designs are available, then it will be easy for you to choose it, because you would be, these are the two most time consuming part. And if a decision making is supported by these two parts, then your choice can become easy and implementation will also become better. So decision support system, which we say, is a system which helps us in making the decisions by, it would be a flexible interactive system which will be supporting us in decision making. And particularly, it is more useful when the problem is not structured. In a structured thing, so normally we don't need too much amount of decision support system. But whenever things are non-structured, then in that case, we'll be requiring more and more support of the somebody to support us. So there we can have the advantage of DSS. So DSS will help us, it will help you to analyze also. It will help you how to solve the problem also, and you will also know the results, how to use them. So this is known as a decision support system. Now, this way you can understand that we can make a wonderful alliance between us or ourselves and the decision support system. And this decision support system can be there in any part. It can be in the business also. For example, you are in a share broker, and you want to know that what kind of things are there, and where to invest, where to get in, when to get out. This also, that kind of decision making also something is a non-structured thing. So there we can help this system. What will be there? If we feed our system with our experience, intuition, judgment, and knowledge, which we have. Obviously, these are more humane things. Humans possess them more, and obviously, the intuition is something which we are yet artificial neural network we are talking and all that. But intuition and judgment, these are something which are hard to be replicated by you even today. I'm not saying that tomorrow it may be computers may become smarter than us. Obviously, it is possibility is there. But as on it, the intuition and judgment which we humans possess is much more. And experience also is our own human experience, of course. So we can help. This is what we will be bringing. The DSS can support us by by increasing our productivity, by increasing our understanding, by providing more intelligence, by making our decision making faster, and also flexibility. Flexibility in the sense you can have many choices among if you don't have only one choice now. You have many choices are there. So that will help us, for reaching at a solution which will be, less complex to take, and that can be taken at a less expenditure, because you'll be making lesser mistakes, and obviously the cost will become, less. So over here, what really will happen that IT, the use of information technology, or even the ANN, the artificial intelligence, all that. They can help us overall more speed, more information, and more processing capabilities also are supported by our IT infrastructure. So overall, what we can have, this DSS can have a model management component that would be there, a data management component can be there, and a user interface management component. Like for what is there, that first of all, as I told you, you need to take a decision. So I'll show you that in fact component of DSS is there. Now what are the component? One is the user interface. User interface is that we as a user, we are dealing with the decision support system. So that will be a easy system will be there. That can be Windows like based kind of system can be there, where we put our questions, whatever our queries are there. Now suppose a query is there, my query is there, that suppose there are so many loan like I want to build a home, let's say, and I want to build a house. So what kind of total expenditure will be there? How much amount of principal will be required? How much interest will I be paying? That kind of a question is there. So that question I'll be putting to the our user interface, and this user phase interface will be after that. Next part is a model management. This DSS will be having second component, that is a model management. This model will be made based upon the data which it is having. The DSS will be having a data management, device it will supporting with the data. Needed information will be there. It will be organizational information. It will be external information. It can be personal information. This kind of data will be given by data management system, and this will be used by this major component, that is a model management. It will prepare the various choices for me, that what will, let's say, which finance company to take, which bank to take, at what interest rate, flat or flat rate, I should take the loan on a flat rate, or I should take on a variable interest, or what kind of various models I should take it for 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. That kind of all model we can make, and that model will be coming to again back to the answer in the form of answer to the user management system, and it will certainly help me to make a better decision. Now this is a simple example I'm giving you of a various component of a DSS. Now this DSS I have given an example of taking a loan. Now in fact this kind of decision making is throughout in the world, in every field, whatever, whether it is in our engineering world, day-to-day world, in a factory, what kind of technology to use, when to take a shutdown, when to go for a repair, when to use replace a technology. That kind of decision making is also required. Similarly, in environmental pollution also, what to take. So various kind of decisions are there. So that can be facilitated by this model management, because it is having these 4 capabilities. What are the capabilities? It can help us to generate the models by using the various modeling techniques. For example, one is a what if model. As you all know, students of engineering, you will be knowing that optimization models are there, goal seeking models are there, statistical models are there. So our model management system is equipped with the capability to to process all this information, our input, our choice, our input, and with the data which is available, it will be doing a kind of this one, various exercises where AI can be a very important part. As I'm telling you, that AI is a very important part in this whole modeling process, and we can you can make it even better by adding AI. We can make it even for those decisions where which are very new also. So those kind of things also model, we can say the models or the various choices can be generated very nicely by this system, right? And that will help us to answer, and therefore this will be a successful solution. So this is as I told you, this decision support system will be helping us very much for making our recurring decisions also. It can help us structured decision also, non-structured decision also. In fact, all kind of decision making is supported by this support system. For example, one simple example I tell, in fact you must have seen that today when you start your Google system, Google map for reaching to any particular place, and then it also shows you, for example, where the traffic congestion is there, and which route will be faster and which route will be slower. You must have seen, all of you, that it gives us the information that which route, which are the routes available for reaching to that place, and which one will be better. It can even track the existing traffic conditions, and also tell us that which way to take. That is coming through ultimately through a DSS only. That solution is passing through this one, when it is automatically using the all those inputs, and also the AI applications, AI using, it is giving us this kind of a decision, right? So you can understand by this example that DSS with the AI and DSS with the this capabilities of modeling can be a wonderful. It is already in fact a wonderful arsenal in our kitty now to deal with the variety of the decision making processes. And I'm very sure that Dr. Devashish must have discussed with you about more about these kind of various processes also. I would like to take you to use this of AI, how this AI is like giving you the fundamental of the DSS. And I'm trying to tell you that how can we utilize this capability of AI for, for making variety of the environmental decisions. Particularly environmental pollution is an area where, environmental management, environmental pollution, both things are an area where I feel I'm very much at home, and I'm very, trying to, I can help you how to, that can be more useful in the future. So this, as I told you, that AI, obviously you all have already gone through the various lectures on AI, so I need not give you much this one. But as you know, that AI has become very, very wonderful. Who doesn't like, talking to the Siri or Alexa at your home? I have seen many people, in fact, they find that talking to Alexa much better than talking to their boyfriend and girlfriends also. So those kind of
Yes.
things are, so you can understand that this way AI has becoming very popular. And it is now at home now, if you can talk to the friend at any time, 24/7, 365, what a wonderful day, thing can be there. It will understand your language, it will help you decision, all that is possible. So obviously this part I need not discuss much with you, because I have seen Mr. Devashish has discussed this part of the very well with you, that what is AI. So in fact, as we know that now variety of our decision making processes and our ease of our life can be made by this kind of thing. Machine learning, which is really having the deep learning predictive analysis part, your natural language processing, that is a very important part. As for example, Alexa sometimes doesn't understand what you have said. So that is basically, in fact, she understands your this one by your, what kind of language you're saying, what kind of diction you is there. And so variety of these things, NLP, then the speech part, then expert system, robotics, and this also is a part of this one. In fact, nowadays, for example, we have seen that AI we can couple with the various sensor and actuators also. So we can have a robotic system also. And this will all, as you can say, part of the AI, where the learning, the reasoning, problem solving, perception, and language understanding, all are the capabilities of the system. This part I'll leave it, because already this has been dealt by Mr. Devashish. This one simple part I'm just like to tell you that, for example, we can now intelligent environment creation is happening. Why I'm telling you, because environmental decision making also is somewhat related to this kind of a presentation before you. For example, you are an occupant in your house. You are residing in a room, and your room is fixed with a variety of the sensors are there. Motion sensor is there, light sensor is there, contact sensor, and RFID is there. Radio frequency identification device is there. So these kind of sensors are already equipped, in your this one. And that will be creating a kind of a data set will be there. And based upon this one, if you have your information is already fed to your AI system, then what can be there, that your AI can give a command to the variety of the actuators. Actuators are there that will convert, in the intelligence into an action. A machine will be started by an actuator. Sensor senses, and the actuator starts a particular action. It is a kind of a machine. So sensing part, by your this one, it is by your actions or your motions, or by the kind of light, or by your contact, or by your RFID, this one, it is creating a kind of a sense to the by data is being generated, data is fed to the AI. AI is leading to making a decision making, and it is actuating either a light, it is starting the light, or it is putting on and off your electricity, or the speaker is on, the locker is open, or the locker is locked. So this way, this will also it will making your overall environment where your devices are there, your furnitures are there, or your doors and windows and items are there. They can be operated with the help of this system. So this basically makes a intelligent environment in which, just by, for example, the TVs are coming, which will be getting on by just by our vision only. Already speech is already, Alexa is there, we all know it very well. So this way, whatever things are there, this all is now becoming more and more exciting area of Internet of Things also, which is IT, IoT enabled devices are there, which are equipped with your AI capabilities, and that is making our life much and much more simpler, so that our home is becoming more and more smarter. Now, these examples which I have given you, a simple example which I have put over here, now I am taking you to that how it can be translated to the environmental pollution. Now, this is something different now, because you are having a good understanding about the now AI. You also know the variety of the decision making and all these one. So now I'm trying to take you that how we can apply this AI in our environmental decision making. So, for example, I'm giving you one environmental decision. Now you will say that what is the environment over there? Now the Google is using an AI model to reduce the energy load of this data center. How it is doing is that basically, that data center requires a lot of cooling, because data centers are extremely hot area, too much amount of electricity consumption by the high-speed computers and all that lead to huge amount of the energy consumption. Now, when energy is consumed more, obviously the energy is required to come from a source of power plant. Power plant will be burning more and more amount of coal. If it is a coal-based power plant, it will be burning the coal. If it is a nuclear power plant, it will be using more and more nuclear fuel. If it is a water-based plant, it will be requiring more and more water storage and water consumption. So this way, in all these examples, by consuming more energy, you lead to more losses of more damage to the environment. And as I told you, the Google now is using AI model to control the like how much cooling is required, where the cooling is required, where cooling is not required. Based on that, that was the total load of this one. It has been successful to reduce the total energy cost by 40%. You can understand that data centers are huge data centers distributed throughout the world, and what a huge consumption is there, and they have they have reached to the 40% reduction in their bill. That's a wonderful, I think, achievement. Similarly, AI, the IBM is using now. IBM has come with a variety of this one, which is helping us for the weather forecasting. Weather forecasting is that, how is the weather forecasting? As you all know, weather forecasting is again a very complex phenomena. It requires a lot of input of the, let's say, the temperature, the pressure, the pressure, the wind direction. It also requires the how much is the insolation. Insolation means how much is the sunlight is coming, how much is there, what kind of say season is prevailing. All those things are there, and it's a constantly changing. Remember, one of the very difficult thing to forecast is the weather. And still, though I have made a great progress in that, and into that, in fact, now AI has been put over there. Like earlier, what was there? Decision making was more and more in the hands of the meteorologist, who are trained to take that decision, taking decisions based upon the development in the computerized model. Now, the same task can be taught to the computer also. And they can be, with this AI, we can make the predictions much better. For example, now, in fact, there was a time you might remember when people used to make a joke कि भाई आज भविष्यवाणी आई है पानी गिरेगा तो आज तो भैया धूप निकले रहेगी, और जिस दिन बोले आज धूप निकले रहेगी उस दिन सब लोग छाता लेके निकलो. That was the day of the weather forecasting. I remember, it's not very far, hardly 20 years ago. But now it is not like that. You all know, if the forecasting is there, it has become very, if not 100% accurate, the efficiency, the prediction, accuracy has increased, and AI has made this accuracy 30% more. So you can understand this way. You can even plan your operation. How you can make use of this one. You can even the better decision making about your anything can be there by using AI for the weather forecasting. Similarly, there is a company there which is known as Excel Energy in USA. It is there. It burns the coal and nitrous oxide. Basically, coal burning is there, and obviously in this process, what really happens? There is a amount of emission of the oxides of nitrogen take place, because when the furnace the combustion take place at a high temperature combustion, nitrogen, which is otherwise an inert gas, combines with the oxygen. it leads to the formation of the nitrous oxide. And that is a pollution. Ultimately, nitrous oxide, acidic fumes are coming out, sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxide. It will lead to the, first of all, it will cause the corrosion problem in the system. Secondly, it will cause the acid rain issues also. So this also, in fact, and why the nitrous oxide forms, I'll tell you one very important thing you have to understand. Nitrous oxide formation takes place in that part of the furnaces where temperature is very high. Because a big furnace is in fact never at a constant temperature throughout. Certain areas are there which becomes very high temperatured. Certain areas are like a relatively low temperature. And for the formation of nitrogen oxide, those high temperature hotspots are the mainly responsible. So what Excel Energy did is that they are using the AI for this whole monitoring of their furnaces, and they are now able to reduce the emission, and they are also your efficiency they have increased by a proper furnace management by 20%. You can understand a hardcore engineering issue, a hardcore furnace operation can be supported and managed by AI. Similarly, a carbon tracker is there. It's a think tank is there. They are using AI to track the emissions from the coal plants. How? Because what really happens, let's say China, if you want any information, China will never give you any information. How much coal is they are burning, how much CO2 is coming, they'll never give. But now you have information from the China or from the North Korea. How you can get it? You use the satellite data, collect the data of emission which is taking place from their respective factories, because ultimately emission they cannot keep within the plant. So whatever emissions coming out from the stack, you track those emissions, and then based upon your AI, you calculate how much is the emission rate, how much is the with the emission rate of this one, you can very well calculate how much CO2 is coming out, at what rate it is coming out, and you can generate the whole year's data. You can understand it was a wonderful decision making. Now, without you giving any information, the pollution control agency or the carbon tracker agency of the world can collect the information and generate the data, and they can also find out how to help the lower carbon footprint. We call it footprint. The carbon footprint is a concept when how much amount of CO2 we are emitting. That is known as our carbon footprint. And the bigger is the carbon footprint, means more amount of CO2 emission, it means more bad environmental management we are doing. Lesser is the carbon footprint, we are better. So what really is there? America is having one of the biggest carbon footprint. Now, the China and India earlier was having a very small carbon footprint because we had a large amount of forest and lesser amount of industrialization. But now with increasing industrialization, urbanization, increasing consumption of the fuel, both India and China, the carbon footprints are increasing. So all that management we can do through AI. So you can see that for these 4 examples, wonderful examples are there, which can help us to calculate the carbon footprint, reduce the footprint, and reduce the emission of the carbon dioxide. And you all know that global warming which is taking place, where CO2 is the mainly responsible for causing all the problems. So therefore, it is in fact our entire development, our entire science, technology, and software or whatever, this all will be collapsed if we do not control the environmental conditions, which is taking place, becoming more and more dangerous. So therefore, these are the wonderful options where AI can be used. About this Google's, I have told you that AI, they have reduced the data in this one, Google, the total emission. Microsoft also, what is they are doing? Microsoft also, they have committed themselves to become carbon negative by 2030. What is by carbon negative is that they are saying the amount of energy which will be using, which will be producing CO2, will be offset by our measures where we'll be saving the emission of CO2. So overall, this total effect will be there. The company can become carbon negative company, that they are no longer emitting carbon dioxide, rather they are absorbing CO2 from the environment. That is known as a carbon negative state. So carbon negative state, they have what they have done. they have becoming more and more. Even the cloud, our cloud computing is helping the companies, the particular software companies, to reduce their total emissions, because it is in a way a better option rather than having thousands of computers at the millions or billions of computers at the billions of the places, all consuming electricity and all consuming too much amount of power. If you can use the clouds and cloud based approach, it will reduce the emission of this CO2. So this is one part. Similarly, Amazon is doing the same. They are also having a plan that they want to power their entire global infrastructure with renewable energy only. And you all know one of the best cloud platform is given by Amazon, AWS. This one. So these are again examples of AI. So this way you can understand that our world requires a development. We all, we can never stop the development. Development is necessary, but development should be there, which is sustainable. Sustainable development is the particular term which says that you should enjoy the gifts of the nature, but you should have all the technology and all this one, but you should not compromise, and you should not appropriate what is the right of your future generation also. The environment, the earth, all its bounties, the fruits, and whatever is there, it is the we have not generated it. The earth has given it. Our ancestors had been using it. They left it for us, and obviously we should also not consume it all. We should also leave it as it is for our future generation. That is a sustainable development. So AI has become, what has been seen, that it is helping us. It can help us, to reduce the hunger and poverty by using more and more sustainable energy, and also making the all gender equality. Gender equality means male and female similarity for all the benefits of the environment. And this way, sustainable development can be supported by AI. In fact, for that, our world is going on a goal which called as Sustainable Development Goals. And in these goals, particularly the environmental goals, economic goals, society goals, they are supported by. These are two words: are they inhibited by and support and enabled by. Enabled by means these are the environmental pollution control goals, which can be supported up to 93% to control, whereas 30% targets are there where AI can be a problem. How it can be a problem also? I am telling you how AI can be a problem. AI can be a problem because sustainable development wants to say that all the earth, all the citizens of the earth, all the countries should have similar, level of the comfort and technological benefits and all these and the environment. But those who are AI-rich countries who are having the better capability, in fact, they'll progress more and more. So, in fact, that will create some targets inhibition also. So, some targets, though it will be inhibited by AI, because those energy strong, the technology-rich countries will becoming more, using the benefits more. So that will be the problem. But at the same time, by use of AI, we can help the goals reaching to these goals also. So what are these goals which can be controlled by AI and which can help us? I am giving you just a brief this one. Hope you are not getting bored. Hello? Hello, participants?
Yes, sir. This is very interesting.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hope you are not getting bored.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
It's informative, sir.
Yeah, because this system is a one-way system, so you don't really know what is happening and what is this one of others. So therefore, it happens like that. So as I'm telling you, that this all it can help us the variety of the benefits. And what are the benefit area I'm briefly touching upon? These are the major four, rather six area I must tell, which are the priority areas where AI can help us for a better environment and sustainability. One is the climate change. As I told you, clean power, smart transport options, sustainable production and consumption, sustainable land use, and smart cities and homes. These are the area I'll be discussing a little bit more, but briefly I'm touching over here. These are the areas in climate change where AI is supporting us. It can also help us for maintaining a proper biodiversity and conservation of our Earth's climate. For example, you all know that lions are being destroyed, or the variety of the birds, the animals are getting destroyed. That also where we can do a proper monitoring, a proper control, and AI can help us for making the proper decision also. So this can be a part of biodiversity also. Healthy ocean, we all know whatever things you ultimately discard. आप जो भी कचरा फेंक रहे हैं, मान के चलिए आज की तारीख में, the ultimate sink of every pollution is ocean only. आप जो भी कचरा, चाहे बैटरी आप फेंक रहे हैं आज यूज करके, चाहे आप कंप्यूटर अपना यूज करके फेंक दे रहे हैं, चाहे आप अपना मोबाइल आपका बेकार हो गया, अब जो भी आप सॉलिड वेस्ट के रूप में सोचते हैं, बट इन फैक्ट अल्टीमेटली आई एम टेलिंग यू दैट सॉलिड वेस्ट आल्सो ultimately convert, it will come into contact with the water and it will ultimately reach into the ocean only. So ocean is the ultimate sink. We say कि हमारे जो भी water bodies होती हैं वो pollution का ultimate sink होती है. सारा pollution ultimate पहुंचता water body में ही है, पहले river में, river से you can say sea में. So that is affecting, you all know, fish की production कम होते जा रही है, water bodies pollution होते जा रही हैं, number of variety of the sea animals also लगातार कम होते जा रही हैं. This all are becoming more and more problem. Acidification of the sea लगातार होते जा रहा है. हमारे जो sea हैं, sea water हैं, basically वो more and more acidified होते जा रहे हैं. क्यों हो रहे हैं? Because we are emitting more and more amount of SO2 and oxide of nitrogen. This acid rain हो रही है, and similarly our solid waste also is creating acidic pollution. So all that is affecting oceans also. That also, okay, how it can be controlled, I'll come to the next part, how it can be controlled. Similarly, water security, पीने का पानी कैसे पहुंचाया जाए, कैसे सबको मिल सके, how to support it, that's decision making can be, AI can help us. Clean air, very important part. Clean air and also safe air. Even COVID के केस में भी, in fact, and COVID control में भी जो है, AI is becoming more and more useful. Is that it is helping us, first of all, monitoring and prevention के लिए भी. We can monitor what kind of pollutants are there, or whether even COVID bacteria, the virus is there in this one. And based upon this, we can have an early warning system. We can have a filtering system and capturing system for this one. So that in fact, ultimately, आप मान के चलिए, the way COVID is going on, it's my prediction that we have to ultimately come to a decision where we have to use those kind of machines. We should be, making a bigger area virus free. For example, the whole building of LCIT, let's say we should be having that kind of capability where we make the air, free from bacteria, the bacteria or viruses, or the COVID virus. And for that, filtering and capturing device, monitoring device should be there. That kind of device has already come up, is coming up. Its adoption will be becoming more and more possible through the help of, as I told you, the same system as I told you, where you sense the thing, that is a sensor, then you feed the information to your system where AI is there. It helps us to take a decision, to decision in the form to actuate a machine. Actuator will be starting a machine, whether to how to filter, when to start the filter, when to capture and how to capture, or when to give a warning that please leave this building. The way हमारा फायर सेंसर काम करता है ना, आग लग गई तो हमें सेंसर बताता है कि आग लग गई, उसमें वो अलार्म बजाता है. Similar system can be and should be developed where if a person with the let's say COVID comes into the reception area, our sensor should be able to capture this one, that let's say person with the AI COVID is here, and they should first of all give information and create a warning. And then we should start the way just हमारा fire system काम करता है कि it will start to shower the water. Similarly हमारे यहाँ disinfectant हमारा शुरू हो जाए and they should disinfect the area. That kind of thing is possible and is being undertaken. And this also, as in जो मैंने example आपको clean air का दे रहा हूँ, वही COVID के लिए लागू हो सकता है. So this is a important another priority action area. Similarly, weather and disaster resilience, as I told you, because the problem of weather monitoring and more disaster, that what is happening, आप सभी ने देखा होगा कि that due to the more and more global warming, अब जो तूफान आने लगे उनकी स्पीड ज्यादा हो रही है. जब पानी गिरता है तो इतना गिरता है कि there is a huge amount of almost in one day there is a chance examples of 40 50 70 मतलब सेंटीमीटर इंचेस तक के पानी गिर रहा है लोग जो साल भर पानी गिरता है that can fall in a day in Mumbai it had fallen जब मुंबई पूरी डूब गई थी on that day it had received the rain equivalent to the whole year. You can understand these are the problems which are there. So for that also our infrastructure and our disaster management system should be fixed with the AI, and these are the area which will help us to control the variety of the issues. So these are the variety of the areas where we can have a wonderful application of the AI and climate changes. आपको बताया कि in fact briefly मैं आपको बता दूं about this one. Like for example, climate change, what we can do is machine learning is one of the topic we are going to do right now. Now, what we can do is that we can teach our machines to how to optimize the energy generation and demand in the real time. For example, that suppose if you are generating a power, then it is very, very important that you have to load management you have to do. If so, those who are electrical engineers are knowing it very well, that load management is a very important part. If you don't manage the load properly, then whole grid can collapse. So that grid management can become more better if you are having an AI capability in your system. If you're feeding the data of the total consumption of the let's say electricity in the various times of the day and the night also, and then the various seasons, you can have a wonderful system which will teach you and which will help you to load the to manage your grid more easily and more properly, without human intervention, because humans are lazy. They take time for taking a decision. In spite of 24/7 human monitoring, you can have the lesser efficiency than the machine learned operation. So AI with the machine learning can help us to energy generation, also optimize energy generation and also its proper demand management. So once you are making a proper demand management, the chance of grid collapse will be almost nil. Grid collapse is a worst thing. कोई भी electrical engineer के लिए worst thing हो सकती है वो grid collapse कहलाती है, in which the whole grid demand ज़्यादा हो जाती है, let's say production कम हो जाता है, that leads to the lowering of the frequency and the whole grid can collapse. उसको ठीक करने में it will take 2-3 days or at least good amount of time. You can understand this is this thing which if it happens in any country, it is very problematic and it keeps happening. पाकिस्तान में भी हाल में पूरा grid collapse हो गया. Reason अब इससे छोड़िए, reason की छोड़ दीजिए. So this thing can be controlled by our system of AI. So smart sensors and meters also similarly हम climate लगा सकते हैं that can optimize our energy generation in our uses also. It will also help us this smart transport system. Google Map and app, you all know the Google Map हमको जो है it is helping us very good this one a very good and navigation, increased safety and traffic flow and congestion, all that we are using helping using this kind. So this is helping us basically in the controlling the climate change also. Biodiversity जो मैंने आपको बात बताई, biodiversity how it can be controlled, हम AI से what we can do is that हम land use और vegetation का जो satellite से images लेते हुए what we can do is that we collect the data of the land use, like which part is used as a land, like as a forest, which part is used as a industrial operation, which part is used as the housing, which is the fallow land, ये सब कहलाता है land use. Second part है vegetation, उसमें कितना vegetation है, कितना forest है, और इन सबको हम data combine करें satellite image के साथ, तो AI हमको much better help करेगा. For example, एक simple example आपको मैं बताऊं, you all know in our Sarguja district we have a frequent problem of now that is elephants affecting the humans. Elephants जो है घुस जाते हैं गांव में और कुछ शहरों में भी घुसने की examples आ रहे हैं, and they cause lot of damage to the property and also the farms and all this one. Now what we can do is that we can calculate the movement of the we can monitor the movement of the elephants through the satellite, have our AI system which will giving us the warning about which will giving us the idea about what can be probable route of the elephants based upon their past movement data which it will be having. It can give us the where they are going to likely to move and what are the problems in their particular path and where they're likely to come. That all we can control through using the satellite imagery and AI. So this kind of variety of examples are there where it can help us in the biodiversity also and conservation also. It can also for example, anti-poaching is there. A biggest problem is there and now is taking place that in the our जो हमारे forest हैं उसमें poaching is that गैर कानूनी शिकार. Now our lions, our all the endangered animals are they are being butchered like anything by the people. Now we can have that also. We can have predictive softwares we can use by satellite imagery and this one, and even our we can also have how to जो हमारे forest department होता है, that we can help them how to do the proper monitoring and which route to monitor, where the movement is seen, where the animals are moving, where the poachers are likely to move. All that data can be obtained through the AI, and we can have satellite imagery and AI will help us the controlling the biodiversity also. Manishji, I hope I am not getting late. What is the time? Hello? Manishji?
Yes, sir.
VK Sunilji, how much time I am having?
Sir, you have time, sir. You can take.
No. But I think 1 hour is over, no?
Sir, our last session is by 1:30, sir.
No, okay. I'll just take that 5-10 minutes more, provided our participants are not bored.
No, sir, not
sir,
at
no,
all.
sir.
Okay, fine. So I'll take 10 minutes more, and I'll tell you about some more applications of the AI and in this particular area, right? Fine. Good. Thank you for the feedback. I'm getting good feedback over here. So very good. So I'll come back to this part. And biodiversity, I have explained to you that how it can help us to preserve the biodiversity and how to conserve the endangered animals also. In ocean health, as I told you that ocean is one important part, as I told you. So what can be there, how ocean health can be controlled? I'm giving an example that we can have the sensors in the, oceans are very big. You know that 3/4 of the earth is the ocean, and only 1/4 is the land, and even 1/4 we are unable to move properly, so what to talk about 3/4. So you can understand monitoring of ocean is not an easy task. We cannot go to personally to monitor it. What we can do is that we can use AI powered robots. We can use sensors located at the variety of the locations in the big oceans, in the big areas, and those sensors can be feeding the data about the, let's say, pollution level of the water. What is the temperature of the water, for example? That can be one data. It can feed us the data about what is the pH of the water. pH is that acidic or basic, how much it is there. And we can put our sensors in those areas also where we cannot go. For example, very cold area, very hot area, or remote area. We cannot go over there, but we can very well put our sensing devices over there. Those sensors, what we can do is that those sensors we can ultimately collect those data, the data from the sensors, and feed them to a central computing station. And through central computing station, we can put it to we can use the AI over there. Now AI and this one will help us to know what is happening to the ocean water. Whether it is healthy or not, whether the temperature is okay or not, whether the temperature, how the temperature, I'm telling you, the increase in the sudden temperature of the ocean leads to the difference in the pressure in the air above that, and difference in the pressure over that leads to the generation of the low pressure zone. Low pressure zone on the ocean leads to generation of the cyclonic situation. So you can understand weather prediction can be there. Also the temperature, too much amount of increase of temperature or acidity is an indication of the lowering of the water quality of the ocean. So all that we can control, and this will help us to control the fish production also, and also illegal fishing also can be tracked using the AI. What is illegal fishing is that, for example, in the area where fishing is not permitted, people do enter and do the fishing. And sometimes in Indian waters, the Pakistani or the Sri Lankan boats may come and they do the fishing. Those kind of things keep on happening. So all that can be tracked and controlled through the AI application. So this is an example of the ocean health. Similarly, water issues, as I told you, where the water is, how much water is being used, how much water subsurface water is there, how much is the water scarcity is there, whether सूखा पड़ेगा कि नहीं, ये भी prediction हम AI से कर सकते हैं. For example, how it can do it, because जिसे हम drought कहते हैं, drought कब पड़ती है? Drought तब नहीं पड़ती जब से पानी नहीं गिरता. Drought तब पड़ती when the subsurface water gets dried up. When the land gets dried up, then nothing can grow on it. एक बार यदि लैंड ड्राई हो गई, उसके बाद में पानी आपने खूब भर भी दिया, तो वहां पे प्रोडक्शन नहीं होगा, वो फसल खत्म हो जाएगी. So that phenomena can be controlled by AI with the satellite data. We can whether better forecasting, better soil and subsurface water moisture control, and drought monitoring can be done through the AI. So this way, similarly AI can be we can use to for in a big area. For example, suppose area is there which is being thickly populated. So how much water they'll be consuming? What are the sources which are available for meeting that demand? How to provide the water, and in which month water will be required in more? Where from to bring the water? All that can be, this kind of decision making can be done with the help of AI. So this is an example of a control. Similarly, air pollution. As I already told you about, I gave an example of the COVID example. And the similar kind of thing can be there, that air quality we can control, real-time data can be there. In fact, nowadays we are having very good one area where environmental pollution has become very good development has been made, that is in the air pollution control. We know it now in real time that how much SO2, how much amount of let's say dust, how much amount of respirable particles are coming out from any stack. Similarly, we can have the data from any area also, that in any area, how much amount of pollutants are present. So we can use AI-powered simulation, and using them, we can tell when the air condition becoming alarming. आप कभी देखते होंगे, फॉर एग्जांपल आपको जो वार्निंग आती है आजकल पॉल्यूशन इंडेक्स की जो आती है, एयर पॉल्यूशन इंडेक्स की जो आपको आती है कि द एयर लेवल इज रेड का कलर या ग्रीन कलर या ब्लू कलर, दोज आर इन फैक्ट बेसिकली कमिंग थ्रू द these tools only. That even आपने देखा होगा कि pollution forecast आती है, like the weather forecast is there, there is a pollution forecast is there. So pollution forecast is coming from AI powered simulation. That data is fed to the computer. It gives like what is the present condition, what is the total input which is coming into the particular area of air of a particular area, and how it is likely to develop in the, let's say, 24 hours. Or in a week. That data is coming from AI-powered simulations. So this way we can have a better control. We can declare an air pollution emergency also in particular area based upon this data. Similarly, the data from vehicles, radar sensors and camera, this all is helping the, keeping a healthy air can be provided using the AI-powered applications. So you can understand these applications are many. I can go on talking, a lot. So you can understand, in fact, all the area. Similarly, in agriculture, briefly, one or two area more. In agriculture, for example, we can have, better monitoring and environmental condition and better crop yield. हम अपनी जो पैदावार है हमारी की, we can improve it by AI. For example, our Amit Awasthi ji, I think he is using some of these technique. He had come to me with his students about how to control the fertilizer and water, and how to when to provide the water. That all that in fact already companies are there. For example, Blue River Technology is there, Harvest Robotics is there, Terrace Genomics is there. These are the companies which are providing full-fledged solution for the big areas where the AI solutions are available now, and it can transform our entire agriculture. America particularly is a leader in AI, so obviously you can understand most of the companies which I am talking is at the moment is from America. But these applications are developing in our own country. Our own scientists and engineers, I am very sure they can make them more and more applications to be useful in this area. So this is an example of the agriculture applications. Similarly, we can use it into the this part I will told you that predictive capabilities, intelligent grid system I told you, weather pattern I told you, cutting cost I have told you, reduce the traffic congestion. This all part I told you. So these are the variety of the applications. In fact, and I'll stop because I'll keep on talking so much a lot. But ultimately, I'm saying that in fact, AI for Earth is now the need of the hour, and it has been started by for example, Microsoft has started this particular program where they are using the capabilities of AI and also helping the people and organizations to solve the global environmental challenges. If you'll go to this particular site, and I'll be very happy, and I wish through this particular medium, I would like to invite my my faculty colleagues that can we not think of utilizing the capability of AI for these kind of applications which we have talked right now. It will AI tools are available, variety of the opportunities available. We can use that for a better decision making and for ensuring a better environment for all of us, and not only for us, for the future generations to come. So that is my presentation, and I'll stop my presentation over here, and if any questions there, I'll be happy to take.
Do you have any queries? Thank you, sir, for your golden words and enlightening us. We are just under your guidance. We definitely do something innovative on AI and machine learning. Thank you for this session, sir.
Thank you very much. So, but no question is that either I spoke very well or what I spoke nobody could understand. So,
no, sir, it's very information. It's informative for us, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. So please keep it up. Thank you very much from my side.
Thank you very much, sir.
All the participants are requested to join at 1